we cook totally what we find in the garden and what's in the area, and of course we use foods from all over the world, but as far as possible we try to enjoy what's in season at the time. So the first course is a potato soup with wild garlic pesto. Now if any of you venture out into the country, you'll see at this time that the wild garlic is just beginning to grow, and it's incredibly important. It's a lovely thing to eat after the winter. It clears the blood and all that sort of thing. Plus it's totally delicious. There's two types of wild garlic. One that looks like a white bluebell. You know, they look like little white bells alongside the road, and the other one, that one's called Arsenum and the other one's called Tripectrum. And then the Jerusalem artichoke salad. Now this is a wonderful winter vegetable. If any of you are tempted to grow some of your own vegetables, as many people are now, Jerusalem artichokes are fantastic because they come back year after year, and they are the highest in inulin of any vegetable. And you might say, what's inulin? Well, if it's what keeps your gut flora really healthy, and this is not necessarily sounding very appetizing, but they're delicious. But what happens is if you have to take antibiotics, it kills off, as you know, all the good bacteria as well as the bad bacteria. But this, if you have some Jerusalem artichokes, it actually introduces it back into your system in a way that virtually no probiotic or anything else can do. Except there's one disadvantage, and I'll tell you after you've all ordered. You know, artichokes, well, it rhymes with, if you use an F, fartichokes. So you know they're doing you good. You're sure you know they're doing good. And then the next, I have to ring the bell again. Sorry, I have to tap the jaws again. Sorry, Jazz. There's salt cod croquettes. This is really, in a way, it's Spanish, but we actually, if we have some cod or some hake at home, often if we have more than we need, you know, sometimes we just sprinkle a little salt over it and make salt cod or salt haddock or salt hake or something. Just salt it lightly. You literally just have to sprinkle some nice simple salt over it overnight, and then that does two things. It enhances the flavour, preserves it a bit of course, and also it draws out extra moisture. And then just cook it gently and mix it with a little potato and egg and so on, and we make lovely little crispy croquettes and serve it with a garlic mayonnaise with saffron in it. The main course is pork ossobuco. Now that's usually ossobuco is made with veal, but you know, it's very hard to get veal nowadays because people discovered how the veal calves were reared and so on. So we make it with pork instead. And I'm a great one for using cheaper cuts of meat. So this is like the knuckle, and you just cut it into slices with a bone in the center. And when anything, if you're making any kind of stew or anything, if you have bone in it, it has much more flavour. So this is made with pork instead of with veal. And then there's a lovely Gruyere and dill tart. That's very simple. I don't have to explain that. And then pig with Swiss chard, which is one of the Brassica family, and coconut milk. This is an Asian flavour, but we actually often make this at home with spinach stalks. A lot of time people just throw out the spinach stalks, but the spinach stalks from the perpetual spinach, they're long and thick and they're really delicious. You can use the stalks of chard or the stalks of spinach for that. For main course, for pudding then, we're using Brussels sprout tops as well. It's the end of the Brussels sprouts and the tops are really, really delicious. The great thing is if you grow things, you can use, usually from a lot of vegetables, instead of getting one vegetable, you get two or three vegetables from a lot of the vegetables. With the Brussels sprouts, you can use the Brussels sprouts, you can peel the stalk and you can chop that up and use it, and the Brussels sprout tops are delicious as well. So we use every scrap. But for pudding then, it's carrageen moss pudding. This is a seaweed, and that grows all around our coast. Carrageen means little rock in Gaelic, and we collect the carrageen. This is one of the forgotten skills. We collect the carrageen at the lowest tides of the year, what they call the spring tides. It grows right out on the little rocks, and we pick it and then we put it up on the grassy cliffs, and it's washed by the rain and bleached by the sun. It's a wonder food. It's just, it's full of iodine and other trace elements. It doesn't taste like iodine, okay? But let me tell you the really good news. It makes your metabolism work to its very ultimate. So it breaks down fats and it doesn't put on weight, okay? Rhubarb's also in season. The little lemon and rose geranium pasta is a very old-fashioned dessert. Rose geranium has a wonderful haunting lemony flavour. No house should be without a lemon geranium, and we use it in infusions and in sorbets and ice creams and so on. And then finally Shrikand. I love India. I go to India every year. And this is one of my favourite Indian desserts. We have, I was telling one of the gentlemen in the other room, we live on a farm, a little organic farm down in East Cork, and we love to have our own milk, so we have 2 little Jersey cows. And you might as well have 200 cows milking 2 cows every day. It takes just as long. But anyway, we make our own yogurt. You don't have to make your own yogurt to make this. When we make the yogurt, we drip it and then add some cardamom and some saffron to it, and decorate it with pistachio nuts. So there's a little taste of India there. So I hope you enjoy your dinner. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. Thank you.